How's it going, YouTube? Lawler here, your one-stop shop, all things Rocket League related, as well as just esports stuff in general. A little bit of a hiatus due to being out of town. If you guys didn't see, and I'll probably post it somewhere in here, was actually offered the opportunity to host the Lamar Hunt US Open 2025 final in Austin, Texas this week. So it was a little bit out of the way, but we're back and we've got a lot of crazy stuff to talk about. As always, if you guys would like to stay up to date on all things Rocket League related, two ways you can do so. Number one, if you guys could be oh so kind to drop a follow, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff down below, any comments you guys have. And in the description while you're down there when you're joining the Discord and stuff, there is a link to this document. This document has been updated now that I'm back home and settled in. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to rip off the Band-Aid. We're going to go through these in like a chronological order just so I can kind of talk about how they formulated. So first things first, GK during the week said that, hey, the things that have been rumored are happening. Oli and Archie are no longer with GK. They are going to be rebuilding. Rumors of bringing in people like Jack and Seiko and things of that nature seem to be more likely. So a lot of excitement for what is this new iteration. I can tell you once the dust settles with all these roster changes, we'll be trying to do like a top maybe 20. Maybe we really build out our power rankings and try to do like a top 10, top 15 power ranking. Maybe we do a community vote. Let me know if you guys want that in the comments down below. If you guys would like to do like a community poll for like who you think are going to be the best teams, maybe we'll put something together. That could be fun. Either way, GK relieving two of their players. We already know Oli possibly going with Jorius and somebody else. Obviously not officialized yet. And then Archie likely to go and join Oski and Nas on the new mates roster. So pretty exciting there. We've got further confirmation about that towards the tail end of the video. So that's the current state of things. GK looking to rebuild. Up next, though, something that's a little bit, we've been kind of iterating about what is potentially happening with some of the teams that haven't been mentioned. And one of those was like BSK with Mozzarella saying he's LFT. We didn't know if that was going to happen with BDS as well. Well, we do get confirmation. Nico, one of the players on the team, has announced that he is LFT. So Nico will no longer be with what was Juke and Matzer and trying to find something else. There's been a lot of people talking about maybe you go with the full country representation instead of 2 Danes, 1 Bruv. Maybe it's just 3 Danes, potentially. EJBY and Tempo. Obviously, I mentioned previously that Nico has been playing with Tempo quite a bit, so maybe that will populate. But Nico, very talented player. I expect him to try out for a bunch of different iterations and see what he can land with. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. As I hear more, I'll let you guys know. But on to the big news, the big stuff that we've been kind of rumoring towards, but it's cool to see the development of how it went down. So to kind of set the stage before this really happened, we had rumors from Shift coming out about intentions with M0nkeyM00n and how there was a plausibility that M0nkeyM00n may not be able to play, that he may be stuck in contract jail. The current state of Rocket League esports is in a very tumultuous situation because not many organizations are willing to pay what is a reasonable salary on top of then having to pay a buyout. And from the sounds of it, Vitality does a good job of securing their investment and what I mean by that is like when they sign a player, they do a longer contract because then it gives them negotiating power or allows them to kind of get back some of that money with a buyout. So the way it usually goes down, and I've talked about this in the previous video, most organizations, so if M0nkeyM00n's under Vitality, they want this new organization to basically pay off what was guaranteed essentially to M0nkeyM00n in his contract. So if he's got like 6 months left, you're paying 6 months times his salary, and then he's going to have to pay for whatever they want a little bit on top of that, just so they can be like, hey, we can reinvest this and go and find some new player if we would choose to. In this case, it looks like it's going to be Stizzy. On the other side of that, then not only does that new organization have to buy out the contract with a little bit on top, they then have to allocate the funds, obviously, for the new contract. So most people are happier when these guys go LFT, unrestricted free agent, no buyout clause, no issues, and they can just say, yep, this is what your pay is, we're good, firm handshakes. Many people and some of the conversations that were happening, rumors and otherwise, is that M0nkeyM00n may have to sit on the bench, similar to what we've seen happen with Extra, similar to what we've had to seen with Alpha, similar to what we've had to see to numerous players that have signed those extended contracts, and then they just have to kind of wait and see because people don't want to do that buyout. So as the conversation develops and we kind of understand where M0nkeyM00n's potential could be, whether he is stuck under contract or someone's got to pay the buyout, rumors started speculating of who would be capable of doing that and who wanted to make those actions. Cresper, who is the former manager of the Ultimates, he's been alluding to maybe Sandrock Gaming, as Sandrock Gaming has been tweeting again. Hopefully we get something with that, but primarily says, hey, just as a reminder and to kind of clear some of the air, and maybe Twisted Minds guys get a little upset at me for this, but just want you guys to know. Twisted Minds has negotiated with every available name. They are trying to bring in someone of high-level talent, European or otherwise, but the ultimate decision, and this is true, is it comes down to the players. You can, as an organization, do everything in your power to go and entice a player, but if the player is happier with other options, other teammates, synergy, whatever outside factors, there is a possibility that they just go, you know, I'm honored for the opportunity, but no, thank you. I'm going to stick with my native language. I'm going to stick with something closer to home. I'm going to stick, whatever their reasoning may be. So it's not that Twisted Minds hasn't been trying to make it happen. It's just the players that they went after, a lot of rumors about apparently Jack and others, maybe they liked their other options more. And that's no fault to the organization. That's no fault to the players. That is just a personal decision made by the players. So Cresper then adds, the offers were equal, if not more. And I can tell you that this conversation has also been because of what they saw happen with Drawley. Because Drawley was heavily sought after, Drawley has gotten this really crazy offer. A lot of EU players have basically said, well, if they can do it, why can't everybody do it? And the circumstances, which I have touted a bunch, are not equal. I made sure to express how unique of a scenario Drawley's was, and even though people on social media, people in the comments are all upset about those statements, anybody who knows the reality is that is a very unique scenario. And I'm not saying that's to fault to anybody, but it's just the matter of fact. Understanding that and expressing that, some of these players see that opportunity and go, hey, me too, why not me? I know I'm a heavily sought after free agent. When you go in there and you provide what you think you are worth, and then the other organization goes, hey, that's still super unrealistic, that just doesn't make sense to do, they're not going to do it. I understand, and this is something that I've done, and I'll admit it to you guys as well, is that there has been times where I've been like, you know what? I know what I have in option A. I like option A. The pay is reasonable. I'm happy with it. But option B comes along and I go, you know what? It's not really my first option, but you know what? I got to do what's best for me. I got to be selfish. I'm going to give an exorbitant offer. I'm going to say, hey, you got to pay me like 2x, 3x. And then if you provide that, I'll go, you know what? It's not my first choice, but the pay is too good to pass up. I'm going to do it. Hey, here's opportunity A. Opportunity B is really, really good, and the pay is too good to pass up. I may not like the work culture as much, but you know what? The pay makes it worth it. I'll do it. I have to travel a little bit more to the workplace. I can understand them doing that. I can understand them seeing their peers do that. It is something that has happened throughout Rocket League history for a very, very long time. When all the salaries got inflated way back when Cloud9 was coming in with NRG trying to steal their roster when they were the Kings of Urban guys, a lot of players saw their peers making 6, 7, 8K a month way, way back and were like, well, my friend is getting that. I should get that. And it created this kind of I wouldn't say entitlement, but this, I feel deserving of that pay because we're performing at equal-ish level. So those things happen frequently. That is just the nature of the business. It is why sharing pay, even amongst casters, is very important. If we're all on equal level, it allows us to stand firm. It allows us all to get equal opportunities. So I can understand that happening. Cresper does provide, hey, Twisted Minds is trying. They're trying to do what they can, but it is ultimately down to the players and their agent and representation to say yes or no. So that's how it all develops. We then, shortly after this, as conversations are starting to move, we do get the confirmation that what was rumored by Shift is true. M0nkeyM00n contract has been bought out. He is going to Twisted Minds. Now, a lot of people start chattering. A lot of people start going, what the heck? Like, you haven't even announced TRK yet. We don't even know. And I will say the goofiest thing about this, and like, they know what they're doing. That's 5:11 p.m. KSA time. Someone alluded to it on Reddit. They're like, they know what they're doing. This is 5:11 or TRK 5:11. They posted this at a very specific time. Round of applause, obviously, for the people who dug that up. You can never sneak it past Reddit. And Twisted Minds, way to be on the nose on that one. I give them a lot of applause for that. So they do manage to cover the buyout for Vitality. They do manage to provide him an enticing offer. How many opportunities M0nkeyM00n got? Only M0nkeyM00n knows. Only his representation knows. But the ultimate thing is, I think it would be a shame not to see a two-time world champion and someone who has been close so many times go and make a run. I also think that this provides a very unique opportunity for what was strengthening Twisted Minds with local talent. So, that being said, M0nkeyM00n is now confirmed with Nobu. This is what the team is going to be. We all assume TRK is going to be the next, and we have to wait a little bit. So, this went down on September 30th officially, and then shortly after, they do say a few days later that Rise has been released. Obviously, with 2/3 rule, this was assumed. We all knew this was kind of going. Rumors of Rise going to North America, like I talked about in my last video with Gen G. But they do officially say thank you to Rise. So Rise is officially off the roster. They no longer have to worry about trade restrictions and region locks with 2/3 rule. So It is Nobu and M0nkeyM00n. Everything is going according to plan. Rise is now released. We're looking to see where that goes. And then immediately after that, just a short day later, we do get, honestly, a pretty cheeky video with TRK and Nobu. They kind of treat him like Batman with the bat signal. It's at F511 and stuff. And we do get confirmation. So you're talking next season in the RLCS, Falcons is the Twins and Drawley, and Twisted Minds is Nobu, TRK, and M0nkeyM00n. I mean, if you want to talk about how strong teams look, the top 16 at majors is going to be absolutely cutthroat. At the end of the day, man, I think every offseason is always absolute chaos. You never know how things are really going to play out, what offers were given, what opportunities are presented in the sense of, like, what are my options I can pick from. You know, we talk about key puzzle pieces like apparently Jack, where it's like he can kind of pick and choose how he feels. But you really, truly don't know the full details. You don't know, like, what kind of plays are being made or what kind of efforts are being made, whether it be the coaches, the tryouts, the scrims. What I do know is that teams are going to be very competitive. I am very excited to watch. And if more people don't tune in to the MENA broadcast this season, I'll be shocked, because these two teams are going to be battling for a team for first place. And I don't know what chemistry, I don't know what plays are going to happen. I don't know who is going to lock in and feel more comfortable at first. A lot of people have been kind of talking about, hey, Drawley does speak Arabic. Drawley himself said it's not great. The Arabic that they speak by him versus what they speak in Saudi is different. It's passable for communication in-game, but comms are most likely going to be in English. That's his direct words. He said it in a Twitch chat. Like, that is from him, not from me. So it will be interesting to see how that develops. The same can be said about M0nkeyM00n. Is he going to have to learn? How is it going to play out? What's the communicate? There is going to be an adjustment period. That said, on paper, both teams look absolutely stacked. It's a lot of talent. I think Nobu and TRK may come back to bite Falcons. I think TRK is still one of the best in that region. I am very excited to see how this one plays out, just as a fan of the game and seeing them compete. Last but certainly not least, though, we do get official confirmation that NIP has released their roster. So there's been talking about how NIP is trying to allow these guys to go pursue a different option. They're going to bring in then a different third with Archie and kind of pursue that route. But NIP wants to go and pick up something else. They talk about it as well. Official parting of the players. A lot of these moves are happening officially now that contracts have expired, which is the common sentiment most of the time. Just to give you guys a little bit more insight, I know this video is getting a little bit long. Contracts are usually signed like a week or two before the season starts. So like November 14th is the official date. Most teams will probably sign the beginning of November until the beginning of October, just so it encompasses the entire season. That's pretty common. So now that we're officially in October, contracts can expire. It's pretty common. So these teams have been officially released. They are now officially not under contract, which means that the other contracts can move through. So expect to see more official confirmations in the coming weeks. One, because we're only a month or so away, which is crazy to think about. I think it was like 30 some days from the season starting. But then also because, hey, we now have no legal red tape. We don't have buyouts. We don't have any. We can just pick you up with no issues. So pretty cool stuff there. They do part ways to Bobby Jr. as well, which is hilarious. Shout outs for Dosen and his antics with the pigs. Either way, that is where we're at. That is the official stuff. Again, as a reminder, if you guys want to see that stuff, check out the roster document down below in the description. Hit up the socials and stuff while you're doing there. I kind of went a little bit all over the place. I'm still trying to get back into the flow of things because we've been removed. But again, pretty crazy stuff. A lot of moving parts. A lot of things going to be announced probably in the next week or two as everybody gears up and gets ready. I assume for most teams, they're kind of going through contract negotiations right now. Once that's done, they're going to take a little bit of time off, and then it's full grind getting ready with the new team to find that synergy, that chemistry, that structure going into the first open. So pretty wild stuff for NA and EU. 6 teams trying to battle to make it to that kickoff tournament. Either way, I'll keep you guys up to date with what I hear and what I know, and that'll do it for me today. Either way, as always, appreciate you guys watching the video. Like, subscribe, comments down below. You guys know what to do. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.